Hello YouTube. So today I have finally sat down long enough to be able to play around with my new Pat McGrath Mothership 7 and Mothership 8 palettes that I have now added to my growing collection of Pat McGrath palettes. Now, many of you are probably aware that she has just re-released her Mothership 7 Divine Rose palette, and then she came out with a sister palette, the Mothership 8 Divine Rose 2. So I picked up both those palettes and I picked them up in the pink packaging. All right. I have also picked up the Divine Rose 2 in the black packaging, and I already had the Mothership 7, the Divine Rose 1 in the black packaging as well. So I am going to get into my swatches, my thoughts, my review, my thoughts on the launch, and just some other random thoughts that I have. We'll just throw them all in this video. So I did purchase the pink palettes as a collector, not to use. These aren't my first Pat McGrath palettes that I've purchased with the intention of not using. It's not a habit of mine, but you know, when something just really draws me in, I have learned over the years of my makeup collecting that, you know, if I want to hold on to something or preserve something, then, you know, I might want to get a backup. So nonetheless, let's take a look. I'm sure you've already seen these colors before, but here is the original Mothership, what is it, 7 Divine Rose 2. Okay. And this is the new Mothership 8. Excuse me, that was the Divine Rose 1. This is Divine Rose 2. Okay. So, there's been lots of reviews on this palette. I'll go ahead and insert some photos and some swatches that I have. But what I want to do today is I want to create a look using both palettes. So I really have no idea what it is that I want to put together, but we're just going to dig in and see if we can get something that looks cohesive. Excuse me while I move things out of my way. All right, okie dokie. So I've already put on my primer, and I've already set my primer with powder. And so I think I want to try out this. All right, so I think I want to try out everyone's favorite, the Naked Blush from the Divine Rose 2 palette. And you can probably see I just tapped my brush in there, dug it in a little bit, and it's got a lot of kick up. And I'll start by putting it in the crease. Oh, it's a really pretty color. I'm used to using warm browns in my crease, so even if I did want to do a peach look like this, that's typically something that I would use. But this looks like it would be, you know, a crease color that I would gravitate toward. Okay, the next shade I'm going to take is going to be this hot pink shade here, Rose Seduction. Rose Seduction. I have a number of hot pink eyeshadows. All of them are in palettes, and I have shied away typically from the hot pink, but this, I have to be honest, was one of the colors that really drew me in to this palette. All of the colors have drawn me in, and this is the color that everyone is saying is not eye safe, which is what makes this an artistry palette and not an eyeshadow palette. For my inner corner, I'm going to go ahead and go into the Mothership 7 Divine Rose 1 palette, and I want to use this BR Rose Venus. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with Naked Blush. And I'll take, I didn't add any more product onto my brush, so I'll just take a light hand. I'm going to go into Extreme Burgundy and just create a wing. Okay, and then I'm going to get a thinner blending brush and just blend this out. Adding a little bit more product to my brush. Then blending over that with the Naked Blush. Not adding any more product to my brush. Now, for my under eye, I am going to use, I guess, a little bit of the Naked Blush. And this brush still has some of the Extreme Burgundy left on it. And because I want to deepen it up a little bit, I'm going to go back into the Divine Rose 1 palette. And the color that I'm going to use from that palette is Extreme Mahogany. And I'm going to go back over that color with a little bit of Naked Blush from the Divine Rose 2. And I'm going to carve this line out again. Alright, and I think that's going to be the look. Clearly, the color I really want to dig into is the Sextraterrestrial, but I'm going to save that for another day. And so I'm going to go ahead and line my eyes, put on some, I'm going to line my eyes. Then we'll talk about what I'll do next. Okay, and I did buy some lashes, but I don't know that I feel like putting on lashes. Lashes are a bit of a struggle for me. Okay, and then I'm going to line my waterline. And I'm going to put on some Naked Blush on my cheeks. And we're going to go for some highlighter. And some setting spray. So I'm sure many of you are aware this was a highly anticipated launch, and there were a lot of people sort of clamoring to get their hands on these palettes. For those of you who are not familiar with how Pat McGrath's launches go, is that typically at launch time she will send out a promo code that offers a discount off of the palettes. So I purchased the Mothership 7 and 8, which is the Divine Rose 1 and 2 duo. I purchased it in the pink packaging, and then I purchased additionally a Divine Rose 2 Mothership 8 palette in the black packaging. And that's because I already owned a Mothership 7, Divine Rose 1 palette in the black packaging. I purchased that back in March during one of her re-releases. So the palettes retail for $125 each, which means that if you're purchasing 2 of these palettes, if you're purchasing a duo, it it would be at full retail price $250, but full retail price for the bundle was $230. Now the pink bundle and the black bundle was the same price. She probably really could have gotten away with charging more for the pink bundle, but they were at the same price. And so I was able to get a $20 discount just by purchasing the bundle alone. Now, because one of my palettes arrived with a little minor cosmetic damage on the case, I reached out to her team and within an hour was able to get a response, and I was able to get another discount on the back end. So all in all, that brought my total cost to less than $300. So yeah, I feel incredibly fortunate having been able to get my hands on the pink palettes and the black palettes, because as many of you know, those palettes sold out quickly. Since then, Sephora has done an early launch. The palettes came back on Pat McGrath's site as of today. It's June 12th that I'm recording this video. I don't know if they're still available, but they were supposed to be released on Sephora's site on June 15th. And I believe that that's still set to go. So hopefully Sephora will be doing a restock come June 15th if they have not done a restock yet. I have not checked Sephora's site today. Now, based on the reports that have come out, the pink palettes will not be coming back, but you know, it's Pat McGrath. You never know. Nobody knew, I certainly didn't, that she was going to re-release the Decadence in the solid gold packaging, which was the same packaging as the Star Wars. If I read correctly, the next launch of the Decadence palette is supposed to be happening this summer, and it's actually going to be in another special edition packaging. It's going to be in black and gold. That's at least according to the screenshot that I took from her site and posted it on my Instagram. Okay, well, that is the look. So for this look, I used the Naked Blush as a blush. Just wanted to see how it would perform on my skin. I don't have any of the Pat McGrath lip glosses, but I do have some of her matte trans lipsticks, and I also have some of her lip balms. So for today, I use Beautiful Stranger, which is sort of a pinky mauve dusty rose color lipstick, and I just thought that that was appropriate for the Divine Rose look. And then I also use a lip glass from one of MAC's holiday collections, and this is in the shade Cake Top. This was another like really popular color. So this is my look. So please stay tuned for the next video. I actually have a number of Pat McGrath palettes that I have collected over the past several months and have not touched. So I'm sure I'm going to be back with a haul and review about something else. I did want to get into how the collection launch went and what my experience was, but I think I'll just save that for another like chit chat video, and we'll just end it here. Until next time, people.